Hey everyone, ready to dive into a story that's going to leave you feeling like you can conquer anything.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
We're about to explore the incredible Nims Purja, a mountaineer who basically rewrote the rules of what's humanly possible.
That's right. And we're doing it all through the lens of Rocking Ultra.
You got it. A blog that's like a cheat code for runners.
For runners of all levels, even ultra-marathon enthusiasts.
Yeah, it might seem a little unexpected at first, using a running blog to understand a mountaineer.
Right.
But Rocking Ultra isn't just about logging miles, is it?
No, it's about pushing your boundaries mentally and physically.
And trust me, that's something Nims knows a thing or two about.
For sure. And just a heads up to our listeners.
We're AI voices here.
Yeah, sort of like the Cliff Notes.
Version of their amazing articles.
Exactly.
But seriously, check out the full articles on rockingultra.com.
When you're done listening to us.
And they even have book recommendations too.
If you want to go full-on bookworm.
All right, let's get to the peak of this story.
No pun intended.
Nims climbed all 14 of the world's 8,000-meter peaks in just over 6 months.
Wow.
To put that in perspective, it usually takes years.
Even decades for most climbers.
And his Project Possible wasn't just possible, it was mind-blowing.
It really was.
6 months.
I know.
I could barely keep up with my laundry in 6 months.
Right.
So before we get into how he pulled that off, who assessed Nims Purja?
Yeah, what's his origin story?
Give us the backstory.
Well, his background's a huge clue.
Okay.
Nims was in the British Special Forces,
Wow.
which is basically a masterclass in pushing limits and resilience.
Talk about intense training.
Right.
So then he took all that grit and focused it on the mountains.
He set his sights on those massive Himalayan peaks.
Okay, so we've got an incredibly driven guy with a background that screams, I laugh in the face of danger.
You could say that.
But even for him, this Project Possible had to be insane, right? I mean, 14 peaks.
All above 8,000 meters.
In less than 7 months.
Yeah. The logistics alone are enough to make your head spin. And that's before you even factor in the physical demands.
And the constant risk.
Exactly. It was a feat that had a lot of people saying, nope, not possible.
So I'm guessing that skepticism added to the challenge.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just the mountain itself.
But the doubters, too.
So it wasn't easy for Nims to find sponsors who believed in Project Possible.
It wasn't. He even had to mortgage his house to fund the expedition.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
Makes you think,
It does.
how often do we let doubt, whether our own or from others, stop us from chasing those big, crazy dreams?
That's a great question.
Right.
Yeah,
Man, that's a gutsy move, putting your house on the line for a dream.
it really is.
But speaking of gutsy, Nim's motto is, nothing is impossible.
I love that.
It's not just a motivational poster for him.
It's like his operating system.
It really is, and that's exactly the kind of mental toughness Rocking Ultra is all about.
Totally.
They stress that it's not just about physical training, it's mental training too.
Yeah.
Nims, staying calm under pressure, that laser focus, his unwavering belief in himself and his team, that's what sets him apart.
Yeah, it really does.
Hold on.
Yeah.
He had a team.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this was a solo mission.
Oh, no, you definitely need a team for something like this.
Of course, okay.
And that brings us to another fascinating aspect of Nims,
Which is,
his leadership.
oh, interesting.
Remember his special forces background?
Yeah.
Those skills were crucial in managing a team in such extreme conditions.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
You can't exactly call a timeout when you're on the side of an 8,000-meter peak.
you can't.
What was his leadership style like?
So,
Drill sergeant all the way.
actually quite the opposite.
Really?
He's all about valuing each team member and taking responsibility for those tough calls.
Especially when lives are on the line.
For sure. And that's something Rocking Ultra emphasizes too.
What's that?
Building a supportive community, even when you're pushing your individual limits.
I like that. So, not just a physical beast, but a leader who understands teamwork.
And that's impressive.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
Nims is tough,
Uh-huh.
prepared, believes in the impossible, and D knows how to lead.
Right.
Did he have any weaknesses?
Well,
Surely even HE had moments of doubt.
of course, even with all that going for him, Project Possible threw some serious curveballs his way.
Okay, like what?
Well, we already mentioned the lack of support at the beginning.
Yeah, having to risk his home to fund his dream.
That shows incredible self-belief and determination.
Wow, he basically bet on himself.
He did.
It's like what Rocking Ultra says about believing in your potential even when others don't see it.
Exactly.
But there had to be more challenges than just funding, right? I mean, we're talking about the Himalayas here.
Oh, absolutely. Picture this. You're battling blizzards,
Oh, no, thank you.
frostbite,
I'll stay inside.
and altitude sickness, all while trying to climb the world's highest mountains.
That sounds awful.
That's just another Tuesday for Nims.
Okay, that's officially beyond anything I could handle.
Right.
I'm getting anxiety just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But he didn't just climb, did he?
Yeah.
Didn't he also do some crazy rescues along the way?
You're right, he did. Remember, Rocking Ultra talks about a balanced mental approach.
Yeah.
Well, Nims put that into action in a big way.
How so?
He stopped multiple times during Project Possible to rescue other climbers, even if it meant jeopardizing his own record.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
He stopped to help others while trying to break a world record.
he did.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Most people would be laser focused on their own goal.
I know. It shows that for Nims, it wasn't just about personal glory.
It was about something bigger.
Exactly, the value of human life and being a responsible member of the mountaineering community.
That's pretty inspiring.
It is.
So we've got this incredible athlete, a strong leader who puts others first, and he's mentally tough as nails.
Yes.
But how did he actually prepare for something as crazy as Project Possible?
Right.
Did he have some secret training regime?
Like living in a hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, he does credit his success to a combination of physical and mental preparation.
Okay.
He's even said, your body can do far more than you think. It's your mind you need to train.
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He's saying that your mind is what you need to train.
He is.
I mean, I get that mindset is important,
Of course.
but isn't physical strength crucial for climbing those mountains?
Of course, physical strength is vital, but Nims is emphasizing that your mind is what pushes you past your limits.
Okay.
Think about it. Have you ever hit a wall while running and just wanted to quit?
Oh, totally. It's like my brain throws a tantrum way before my legs get tired.
Exactly. And that's where mental training comes in.
Okay.
It's about pushing through those mental barriers, staying focused, and believing you can achieve more than you think you can.
Gotcha.
It's a muscle, just like any other.
So Nims is basically a mental Jedi master using the Force to climb mountains.
Kinda.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
But I still can't wrap my head around how he did all this in just 6 months.
Right.
I need specifics.
Okay, well, one of his strategies was meticulous planning and logistics.
Okay.
He used helicopters to move between base camps, which cut down on travel times significantly.
Ah, that makes sense.
And remember his military background.
Yeah.
That probably helped him organize everything like a well-oiled machine.
Ah, so it's not just brute strength, it's strategic thinking too.
Exactly.
Like a chess game with the Himalayas.
I like that.
Okay, so he's prepared, he's got a plan, but what about the actual climb itself? How do you even begin to tackle something that massive?
That's where his leadership really shines.
Okay.
He had to make tough decisions on the fly, assess risks, and keep his team motivated and safe.
It's like what Rocking Ultra says about finding that balance between pushing your limits and respecting your boundaries.
Yes, both for yourself and those around you.
Yeah, it's like a high-stakes puzzle where every move matters.
For sure.
So did everything go smoothly? Or were there any major close calls?
Oh, there were definitely some hairy moments.
Oh,
Remember, we're talking about some of the most dangerous mountains on the planet.
right.
Let's take Annapurna, for example.
Okay.
It's known for its treacherous conditions and high fatality rate.
Okay, now I'm really getting nervous.
Yeah.
What happened on Annapurna?
Well, that's where we'll pick up after a quick message.
Don't leave me hanging.
Stay tuned.
All right, we're back at the edge of our seats here.
Back to Annapurna.
Got it. One of the deadliest mountains in the world.
Right.
What happened there?
So remember how Nims is all about helping others?
Yeah, even when it risks his own goals.
Well, Annapurna is where that really came to life.
Okay.
He and his team ended up organizing a high-altitude rescue in conditions that were absolutely brutal.
Wait, so he was in the middle of this record-breaking climb
Yeah,
and just took a detour to save someone.
he did.
That's next-level compassion
Right,
and courage.
Yeah, it shows that for Nims, it wasn't just about checking peaks off a list.
Right, there was something more.
It was about upholding a deeper responsibility to the mountaineering community.
Like what Rocking Ultra emphasizes.
Exactly, that sense of shared success and supporting each other.
Even when you're pushing your own limits.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's not just about conquering the mountain.
It's about conquering those selfish instincts, too.
Well said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he saved the day on Annapurna.
he did.
What else stood out in this epic adventure?
Well, there's this incredible photo
Okay.
that went viral,
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
taken by Nims himself.
I've seen that photo.
It shows a massive line of climbers all queuing up to summit Everest.
It really highlights the crazy overcrowding.
That's happening on the world's highest peak.
Talk about a traffic jam in the most extreme place imaginable.
Right.
It's a little scary, honestly.
Yeah.
What was Nim's point in sharing that photo?
It was a wake-up call about the sustainability and ethics of mountaineering.
Oh, interesting.
He wasn't just focused on his own achievements. He was raising awareness about the impact of so many people attempting these climbs.
So he's a rescuer, a record breaker, A&D, an advocate for responsible mountaineering.
He is.
Nims is basically a superhero at this point.
Basically.
But even superheroes have weaknesses, right?
Of course.
Didn't he have any moments where things almost fell apart?
Oh, absolutely.
Like what?
Remember those grueling physical conditions we talked about?
Yeah, the blizzards, the frostbite, all that.
Imagine pushing your body to its absolute limit day after day.
With minimal recovery time.
It's no surprise that fatigue and the risk of altitude sickness were constant threats.
I mean, I hit the snooze button 3 times before I can face the day.
Right.
And this guy's scaling Everest with barely a wink of sleep.
I know.
How did he push through that exhaustion?
Well, there's a great quote from Nims that sums it up perfectly.
Okay, let's hear it.
He said, "You can't quit just because you're tired. You need to think about the bigger picture."
That's a serious truth bomb right there.
It
It's
is.
like when Rocking Ultra talks about pushing through those mental walls when you're running.
Exactly.
You can't stop every time your brain whispers, take a break.
You can't. It's about having that unwavering focus, that commitment to the goal that transcends mere physical discomfort.
And Nims embodies that mindset perfectly.
He does.
Okay, so we talked about the physical challenges.
Yes.
But let's get back to those logistical hurdles for a second.
Okay.
How did he even manage to travel between all these massive mountains in such a short time frame?
It's pretty amazing.
Was he teleporting or something?
He might as well have been.
So how'd he do it?
He used helicopters extensively,
Okay.
which allowed him to bypass weeks of trekking that a typical expedition would require.
So smart. It makes sense.
And remember those sponsorship struggles we talked about earlier?
Yeah, where he had to mortgage his own house.
Well, that forced him to be incredibly resourceful,
In what way?
squeezing every ounce of efficiency out of his operation.
So it's not just physical and mental strength,
No,
but strategic planning and resourcefulness, too.
that's right.
Nims is like a multi-tool of awesomeness.
He is.
But I gotta ask, with all this focus on speed,
Yeah,
did he ever get a chance to actually enjoy the mountains?
that's a great question. And it gets to the heart of what Rockin' Ultra is all about. Finding that balance between pushing yourself and appreciating the journey.
Yeah, I like that.
While Nims was driven by his goal, he also acknowledged the importance of savoring those moments of awe and wonder.
That come with being in the Himalayas.
Exactly.
So he's a complex guy,
Yeah.
driven yet appreciative,
Yes.
tough yet compassionate.
Right.
What was the most memorable moment of Project Possible for you?
That's a tough one.
I bet.
But I think the summit of K2 stands out.
KT.
It's the second highest mountain in the world,
Wow.
and notoriously even more challenging than Everest.
I've heard that mountain is a beast.
It is.
It's like the final boss level of mountaineering.
You could say that Nims tackled it in incredibly difficult conditions.
What made it so challenging?
Well, the terrain is incredibly treacherous,
In what way?
with steep ice walls,
Oh, wow.
exposed ridges.
And I bet unpredictable weather, too,
Absolutely. It requires a high level of technical expertise
as well as mental fortitude.
to keep pushing when every fiber of your being is screaming for you to turn back.
So not only is it physically demanding, it's psychologically demanding, too.
It is,
It's like that wall you hit during a marathon.
but magnified 1,000 times.
Yeah, how did Nims prepare his team mentally for something like that?
He emphasized clear communication, trust, and mutual support.
Remember, he wasn't just climbing for himself, he was leading a team.
Right. His ability to inspire confidence and maintain a positive attitude
Even in the face of danger.
was crucial to their success.
Man, that's some serious leadership right there.
It is.
It's like what Rocking Ultra says about building that mental resilience.
Not just for yourself, but for the people around you.
Okay, so K2 was a success.
No. It was.
But I'm guessing there were other close calls,
Oh, definitely.
moments where things could have gone very wrong.
We've already talked about Annapurna, but there were other incidents where Nims had to use his quick thinking and risk management skills to avert disaster.
Like,
For example, on Kanchenjunga, the third highest mountain in the world,
wow.
his team encountered a massive avalanche.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
An avalanche. Now I'm picturing a scene straight out of a disaster movie.
I know.
How did they survive that?
Well, that's where Nim's experience and training kicked in. He
Okay.
was able to quickly assess the situation and guide his team to safety.
Demonstrating incredible composure under pressure.
He did.
Wow, I'm starting to think Nims is part mountain goat, part human. But seriously, his ability to stay calm in those life or death situations is remarkable.
It is.
It's like he's tapped into some hidden reserve of courage that most of us don't even know we have.
And that's what's so inspiring about his story, right? It shows that we're all capable of more than we think we are.
Yeah.
It's about pushing our limits, both physically and mentally.
And embracing those challenges that force us to grow.
Exactly.
Absolutely. It's like Rocky Ultra says, it's not about being perfect.
It's about pushing yourself to be better.
And supporting each other along the way.
That's right.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. From death-defying rescues to epic summits.
We have.
And even a bit of philosophical pondering about the meaning of it all.
Yeah.
But what happened after Project Possible?
Yeah, what did he do next?
Did Nims just kick back and relax on a beach somewhere?
Well, knowing Nims, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
But before we dive into his post-Project Possible life, let's wrap up this part.
Sounds good. We'll be back with more from the world of Nirmal Purja soon. We're back, ready to wrap up our Nirmal Purja deep dive.
I am. Let's finish strong.
We've seen him conquer mountains, face down avalanches, and rescue fellow climbers.
With superhero-like skills.
You got it, but what happens when a guy like that achieves his ultimate goal?
Right.
Does he just hang up his ice axe and call it a day?
Knowing Nims,
Yeah.
that seems highly unlikely.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like the type.
Remember, this is a guy who's driven by a deep sense of purpose, a desire to push boundaries and inspire others.
So it's no surprise that he didn't just rest on his laurels after Project Possible.
Not at all.
So what did he do?
What did he do?
Did he set his sights on even crazier challenges?
Like what?
Like climbing Mount Everest backwards or something?
Well, he definitely didn't shy away from new adventures.
Okay, good.
He continued to climb, of course.
Of course.
But he also shifted his focus to other areas where he could make a positive impact.
Like what?
Like public speaking.
Interesting.
Sharing his story and inspiring others.
Did he start a motivational speaking tour telling everyone to mortgage their houses and chase their dreams?
Well, he definitely did some public speaking, but he also became a vocal advocate for environmental conservation and climate action.
Oh, wow. Using his platform to raise awareness.
About the impact of climate change on the Himalayas.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
After seeing those mountains firsthand, I bet he has a pretty unique perspective on how climate change is affecting them.
Right. It's like what Rocking Ultra says about respecting your limits, but also respecting the environment we're pushing ourselves in.
That's a good point.
And Nims took that message to heart.
How so?
He even founded a nonprofit organization
Wow.
dedicated to promoting sustainable mountaineering practices.
And protecting the fragile ecosystems of the Himalayas.
Exactly.
So he's not just a climber, he's an activist too.
That's right.
That's pretty awesome.
It is.
It's like he's taken that whole helping others thing to a global level.
Yeah, I like that.
But I'm curious, after achieving something as monumental as Project Possible, did he ever talk about feeling lost
Lost.
or unsure of what to do next?
You know, that's a really interesting question.
It is.
And it's something that a lot of people can relate to, even if we're not all climbing Mount Everest.
I agree.
Achieving a big goal can be exhilarating,
Absolutely.
but it can also leave you feeling a bit empty afterward.
Totally. It's like that post-marathon slump.
Right.
You cross the finish line, you're like, now what?
Exactly. And Nims acknowledged that feeling.
He did.
He talked about going through a period of readjustment after Project Possible,
Interesting.
figuring out what his next chapter would look like.
So how did he find his way?
How did he find his way?
Did he have any advice for those of us who are struggling with that post-goal letdown?
He emphasized the importance of staying true to your values
Okay.
and finding purpose in something bigger than yourself.
I like that.
He said that it's not about chasing the next adrenaline rush, but about using your skills and experiences to make a positive impact on the world.
That's really powerful. It's like what Rocking Ultra says about running, not just being about the finish line, but about the journey itself, the challenges you overcome, and the person you become along the way.
That's a great way to put it.
So Nims is inspiring us to think beyond our own personal goals and find ways to contribute to something bigger, something that matters.
That's the takeaway.
Man, this whole deep dive has been a roller coaster of inspiration.
It has.
We've learned about pushing physical limits, mental resilience, leadership, compassion, environmental activism, and even finding purpose after achieving a lifelong goal.
Wow, that's a lot.
I feel like I need to go for a run and then save the world all in one go.
Haha, maybe start with a light jog and picking up some litter in your neighborhood.
Baby steps, I like it.
But seriously, Nim's story is a reminder that we're all capable of more than we think we are. It's
Yeah.
about embracing those challenges that push us to grow, both as individuals and as members of a global community.
And remember, we've just scratched the surface here.
We have.
If you want to delve deeper into the world of Nims Purja, be sure to check out his book, Beyond Possible: One Soldier, 14, Peaks My Life in the Death Zone. It's a first-hand account of his journey, and it's packed with insights that will blow your mind,
You can find it on Amazon.
along with a bunch of other amazing books that Rocking Ultra recommends.
And of course, don't forget to visit rockingultra.com
They have tons of articles,
for runners of all levels.
from beginners to ultramarathoners.
Their focus on the mental game is truly inspiring, and they're constantly sharing tips and advice on how to achieve your running goals,
Plus, they have a really cool community.
where you can connect with other runners and share your experiences.
It's like having a virtual running buddy who's always there to cheer you on, even when you're feeling like you can't go another step.
For sure.
And hey, even though we're just AI voices summarizing those awesome Rocking Ultra articles, we hope we've been able to capture a little bit of that same spirit of inspiration and motivation.
I think we have.
We might not have legs to run on, but we're definitely fueled by the same passion for pushing boundaries and achieving the impossible.
So go out there, lace up those shoes, and remember, nothing is impossible if you set your mind to it.
And if you ever need a little extra boost, head over to rockingultra.com.
They've got your back.
This has been the Deep Dive, inspired by those awesome folks at Rocking Ultra.
Until next time.
Keep exploring, keep pushing your limits, and keep believing in the power of human potential.